Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison. It is Friday, finally Friday, or like we like to say on the morning news, Friday on this November 10th. Hope you're doing well and thanks for streaming in with us. And we're getting ready for Veterans Day weekend. We have a lot of details to get to with that, including details on a parade in downtown Orlando coming up tomorrow morning with our Trooper Steve and Crystal Moyer. And we want to get a check of the forecast. Meteorologist Candace Campos is here, and I don't know if it's me or the time change or what, but I'm so happy it's Friday, Candace.
It's been a long week, hasn't it?
Yes, I
I
think it's a
mean,
time
it's one of
change.
the time change. The funny thing is the time change is, now shifting now to the morning show. I remember everyone always saying, oh, the time change, thankfully, is back to the normal morning person schedule. And I can't agree anymore.
And
So
we
it's nice when the cues to start going to sleep start at 5:30 rather than
right. So are your
8:30.
kids on board yet?
Oh, they're never on board. They're always stalling, no matter what time. Even if I'm trying to put them to sleep at 11 o'clock at night, they're still stalling because they want to stay up, right? I mean, that's the same with your kids too, right?
It is. It is every tactic in the book. But last night, mommy was ready to go to bed early, so I tried to start everything earlier, and my daughter kept reminding me what time it was, and I said, I know, but we're just getting started early.
That's when you're like, man, why did I have to teach her about time? I remember those days when I didn't have to worry about,
I bought books on this. Yeah.
oh man, why'd you do that to yourself? The sun is rising an extra hour early, and my goodness, is the sunrise giving us quite a show this morning. It's a
Oh,
beautiful start
yes.
to the day. We had that live look in Daytona Beach at the end of our show. So let's take it to the map, show you another beautiful live look. Not right now. Hold on. I got satellite and radar composites. I'm telling you what's going on across Central Florida. We have a cold front that is going to be making its way into Central Florida late Saturday night and into Sunday. Now, this front is not one of those typical fronts that's hot before it gets here and then it drops those temperatures and skies clear and everything is all hunky-dory. Not the case this time. This front's going to barely make it into Central Florida, but it will at least bring us back to where we should be for this time of the year. This is what the clouds and rain forecast shows us for today. A little more cloud cover than in recent days. You already noticed a little bit of cloud cover out there already. You can see a little bit more green popping up across areas of Marion County, Northern Lake. Very spotty showers area-wide. So coverage today sits at only 10%. As we head into Saturday, that weak front comes through. It will start to develop a little more rain. You see it there Saturday afternoon and into the evening hours. And that will be kind of the main story. Now, the cloud cover doesn't just move on out and clear the air. You can see some more scattered showers come Sunday morning, all ahead of what will be technically a front. It'll just be a front that's really falling apart pretty quickly. This is the live shot I wanted to show you. Port Canaveral, beautiful start to the day, but we do have more clouds overhead than we have seen in the last couple of days. We're at 73 degrees. The winds are still calm. They will stay calm throughout the weekend. So if you want to head out to the beach, head out on the boat. It's going to be a lovely beach and boating weekend. Can't say the same early next week because the winds will be picking up, so that will make things a little more rough. Temperatures, though, if you're running out the door, grabbing your breakfast, 68 degrees in Sanford, 64 in Cocoa Beach, already in the 70s in Leesburg. Our highs today will be nearing records in two spots primarily, not because they're hotter than other spots, just because the records are not as high as other spots. So Sanford and Leesburg, your highs today could be nearing or even breaking records this afternoon. And you can see your afternoon forecast. It's going to stay warm even until about 8 p.m. Temperatures will still be in the mid-70s. Our average high should be 80, and we're hitting 87. So for your Veterans Day weekend, the weather's not horrible by any means. It's still going to be nice, mid-80s, a little more cloud cover. We do have that mention of rain, so don't be surprised if you do get caught under an isolated shower. Thunderstorm chance is not very high, but once that front finally kind of slides out of the area, temperatures will be getting back to where we should be for this time of the year, nearing about 80 degrees, maybe the upper 70s, but we are going to keep the chance of rain, a slight chance. Modeling has been a little bit in disagreement about an area of low pressure developing off this kind of old front that's going to kind of turn stationary over us. So depending on how close that front is, will increase the breeze, the rain. So I'm going to keep the mention of breeze in the forecast starting Monday. And then one thing we do know is temperatures will be getting back to normal. So technically it is a cool front, but don't expect sweater weather. Not yet.
Yeah, you still can't break out all the fall sweaters just yet. So
No, it's
you can go to
November,
the pumpkin patch, just don't dress too warm.
Exactly. Do the Florida fall kind of look.
Right.
You stick with the colors, not as much with the layers.
Right. I'm going to go for iced pumpkin
Ice
spice.
pumpkin. Get me another one too.
All right. Thank you, Candace. I'll see you a
Sure,
little
you're
bit
welcome.
later on News 6 at 9. Well, we are getting geared up for the weekend, and Trooper Steve is standing by with some exciting news that he has going for the weekend tomorrow with Crystal Moyer. And, it is Veterans Day weekend. And of course, you're a veteran. Thank you for your service. And I know this is like an exciting time for you with this big event coming up. I mean, you do lots of events, but this one is really special.
Well, Bridget, man, I never thought that in my life I would get to host a veterans parade. And to do that alongside with Crystal Moyer is going to be a really awesome time right here in the city of Orlando. Their goal this year is to make it the largest parade that has ever been attended for our Veterans Day parade, especially post COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to come out of it. That's going to be tomorrow in downtown Orlando, Orange Avenue down to Central over to Rosslyn. And it's not just a parade, Bridget. Like, I'm encouraging so many people, bring friends out, bring family, because then they're going to have like a big kind of get together with food and vendors and all sorts of things right at Lake Eola. So it's going to be a really good time. Candace just gave a pretty good weather report
Yeah.
that things are going to look good. So we're going to be out there. Crystal and I will be out there super early, but the parade starts right at 11. And of course,
Okay.
we want people to come out in person. Come out there, bring the chairs, all that fun stuff, and join us. But if you can't watch it, obviously, you can watch us right there on News 6 Plus
That's the
or
best seat in the house,
clickorlando.com.
really, because that's when you pull it up on streaming, you're going to have all the great views. But some people really love coming out early and getting that great spot too. So it just depends on like what's your favorite way to check out this event.
Yeah, so I talked with the city this week. Our production manager, Mr. Kotek, we all love him. He does such a great job. We have producer Kerrigan, who is leading the charge on this with us. And we found out there are over 140 participants. So
Wow.
different units, whether it's a high school, ROTC, our local law enforcement, military, the Military Museum of History will be there, which I'm a board member of, and they always bring out amazing equipment just that was real, Bridget. Like, this stuff
Mm-hmm.
actually served in our wars,
Yeah.
and your kids get to see it. Civilians that have maybe never knew much about the military, but just to understand what has happened so that we know how good we have it right now, really, at the end of the day. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited. And then keep the veteran stuff going. My Trooper Steve on patrol today. I don't know if you've ever met this man. He is the founder of Hero Strong. He operates, if you think we're crazy, Bridget, like, this guy operates at 200% all the time. And he put together a 3-day event within the Seminole Orange County area that people can come out, honor our veterans, and have a great time. Everything from Wekiva Island over towards Ryder Park
Mm-hmm.
to their headquarters building. So you make sure if you're watching us this morning, you want to tune in over at 10 a.m. as
Okay.
well.
10 a.m. Super. Well, we're looking forward to that. Looking forward to the big parade tomorrow. And like you said, streaming live. And of course, traffic is a little bit tricky around this weekend when you've got the parade, you've got EDC. So, like, do you have any just like major things to keep in mind with that?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I could suggest to people this weekend, this is a little trick, a little traffic trick. If you are getting ready to hit the road this weekend and you are not attending any of these events, check your GPS before you leave the house,
Mm-hmm.
because usually the good GPSs will let you know what road closures are already in place. But the biggest thing, if you know you're going by Camping World Stadium
Mm-hmm.
or over by UCF or even in the downtown area, and you've got to travel through that 15 to 20 extra minutes because you don't know what's going to happen. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I issued a traffic alert for the weekend, high pedestrian traffic this weekend.
Yes.
So we've got to be super cautious. I know a lot of people are going to be out there having a good time, with some adult activity around EDC. We all know that gets kind of crazy, but people just need to be aware. Pedestrians need to be aware of drivers, whole teamwork, so we can come back on Monday and talk about how good of a weekend we had.
Well, at least the EDC patrons have the like dress in bright colors if you're going to be a pedestrian part covered, right?
Yeah, if yeah, I guess for whatever. Usually, there's a lack of clothing for events
Oh,
like that.
I'm sure
So,
there's
but
like,
they are you are
bright colors and lights involved though, right?
yes, like get those neons and all that stuff. And then I'm working kind of a double tomorrow. So I'm
Uh-huh.
going to switch hats from Trooper Steve with News 6 after the parade. I'm going to switch to Trooper Montiero. And I'm going to be
Okay.
working with UCF and their TAC team over for the UCF home game.
Okay.
I will not be in this. So if you're out and about, you see me, I'll be in law enforcement mode. But please come up and say hi.
That's awesome. Well, get some rest, okay? You got some
Yes, ma'am. You
you
do
got a
the
lot to
same. You
get
do the
to.
same.
All right. Thanks, Trooper Steve. All
Of
right.
course.
Well, we have some news to get to, and then we'll get to some live interviews in just a second. Some other exciting things going on around Central Florida that you can be a part of. But first, in the news this morning, there's been a shooting in Ocoee. A man was shot and killed near the intersection of Clark Road and Silver Star Road in Ocoee. This is near a Publix and a gas station out there. He was shot several times around 8 p.m. and died overnight from his injuries. And police have not released any details yet about their investigation or a suspect. But of course, we'll keep you posted on the air coming up at 9 as well as clickorlando.com. There's also a fire at a church campus overnight. This happened at a church building in Deltona around 4 a.m. along Maximilian Street at the Our Lady of the Lakes Catholic Church complex. We should note this fire did not affect the main sanctuary building, but one of the buildings in the complex. When our crews got there, we still saw flames coming from the building. Deltona Fire is investigating, and according to one of the fire captains out there were no injuries, but of course, the appropriate investigations are underway to figure out what went wrong there. But we do know it was some sort of storage building for the church complex. So we'll keep you posted on that as well. Well, now to one of those interviews I just talked about. We have our own photojournalist, Corey Murray, here. Corey, I've been talking to you about coming on to this new streaming thing we're doing, Breakfast with Bridgett, and I just really appreciate you streaming in with me this morning. You have some exciting things going on with your podcast, Black Men Sundays, as well as a great charity event you're putting together for Boys and Girls Club. So, good morning and tell us more about it.
Good morning, Bridget. Happy Friday. You know how every
Yes.
day I see you, even on a Monday, it's a happy
I,
Friday.
and I
So,
love, and that's what I
um,
love about you, Corey. Every day is a Friday with you. You're always so positive.
definitely. And speaking of positivity, we're making sure families, with inflation, just the high cost of just life in general, we're making sure that the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida, specifically the Universal location, we're making sure that every club member is gonna have a turkey. I'm just gonna say that. When we first started, we were only doing 50 turkeys. Now we're doing 150 at the Universal location.
Yes.
So first off, I want to thank Central Florida for your donations so far. I want to thank our guest speakers. I want to thank News Six viewers, Black Men Sundays listeners. I mean, it's been a awesome experience. I was a little nervous going through this path, going through this journey. I was a little nervous, like, okay, what if no one shows up?
Is the
What
big
if
day tomorrow?
no,
No, it's
actually
next.
today.
Okay.
Yeah, so today, November 10th, is the last day where we're accepting donations. So the fundraiser part ends today.
Okay.
So I figured I'd come on here and kind of give it one last push for the
Yes.
kids because I love the
Yes. And
kids.
that
Everyone
QR
knows
code
that.
is important. We should note that anyone can scan that QR code at any
There we
moment, and that'll take you straight to the site where you can donate. And the proceeds go toward purchasing those turkeys for the 150 plus members of the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, exactly. And November 18th, which is next Saturday, it's also the Florida Classic weekend. Go Rattlers. I went to FAMU, so I had to throw that in real quick. So we're also what I like about that weekend is it's classic weekend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some friends, some guest speakers are gonna show up to the event. It'll be 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Universal location, Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida. We're hoping to feed all the families there. So, like I said, today's our last day to accept donations. You see the QR code. You see the QR code. Click that, and it'll take you right to the website where you can make the donation.
And
Open your camera app, click it, and you're good to go.
tell us more about your involvement with Boys and Girls Club and just, the difference that they are making in Central Florida. We know our own Lisa Bell, very involved with Boys and Girls Club ever since she was a kid, and now she's a board member. So this is just something that's really near and dear to your heart as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I must admit, when I was a kid, you know, the Boys and Girls Club was kind of far from where we live. So my Boys and
Hmm.
Girls Club was you get your butt off the school bus, you go home, you lock the door, you do your homework. When the homework's done,
Oh,
you
latchkey
lock the
kid,
door,
I
you go
know.
outside and play. And when the street
Hmm.
lights come on, you come
You
in the
come
house.
home.
That was my Boys and Girls
Right.
Club, So, but as I got older, we started. Uh, I was always taught to give back. So I'm just, in
Hmm.
a position in life right now where, through Black Men Sundays podcast, through News Six, we're able to give back through the turkey drive to help some families. And Lisa Bell, big shout out to Lisa Bell
Hmm.
because she's actually the person that put me in touch with Betsy Owens, who's the vice president of marketing and community relations over at the Boys and Girls Club. She put me in touch with Nico Palmero, who's the director at the Universal location. I said, okay, I hope you're ready because once we get started, I'll probably just pull up a lot. So I
Yeah.
would say at this point, when it comes to grocery shopping, I'm pretty good in the grocery stores now. So I
You know
know
how
where
to
the
find
turkeys
get the
are at
most bang
all the
for your
stores.
buck.
Definitely, definitely. And so we're trying to do that. And also a little later on, I have some news. I kind of wanna, but I don't want to say it
Okay.
yet. But I
Okay.
have some even better, bigger news
How
going
many
on
days do
here
we
with
need to
this.
wait on this update?
Oh no, it's today. It's today.
Oh, well,
It's today. No, I'll tell you that.
go
I
for
just don't
it.
want to do it. I just don't want to do it right now. But
What?
but all I'm saying is, as of now, thank you, Central Florida. 150 turkeys, as of right now, have been donated. And when I say donated,
That's
don't think that you
awesome.
can just come and bring a turkey. Don't do that.
Don't
We're
bring the
accept-
turkey.
we're
Okay.
yeah, yes, we're accepting monetary donations because here's my thing. What if you bring a turkey and it's been in your freezer for like 2 years?
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
Nah, we want freshness, freshness. So there we go.
The bucks for the birds. All right, Corey. Well, I just appreciate you so much for stopping in. And I want you to tell us about your podcast for this Sunday and what we can look forward to, where we can find that podcast so we can listen in.
Oh, definitely. Well, first off, I want to clear something up. When you think of Black Men Sundays,
Hmm.
yes, the show was created initially to uh, prepare Black men for financial literacy. We didn't get that in schools. We're making money now. We need to learn how to invest. We need to stop buying. I feel like we're buying a lot of depreciating
Mm.
items. But when it comes to assets, when it comes to stocks, when it comes to 401ks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to be listening to Black Men Sundays. But Black Men Sundays, everybody can listen to the show. We're
Yeah.
not on there talking just rah rah. No, we're giving you the tips, and I'm bringing guests on weekly. We're 84 shows in. You can check us out on blackmensundays.com. You can check us out on clickorlando.com/Black Men Sundays, or you could just check us out on any of your podcast platforms. We drop a show every Sunday. I drop it at midnight, and we keep the ball rolling. And the best part about it is, if you subscribe to Black Men Sundays, you'll get an advance notice of the guest speakers, and you may be able to come on the live recording and interact with our guests.
I
So
love
Black
it.
Men Sundays is for everybody, but it was set up initially to make sure that we can basically get out of this generational poverty. We talk about generational wealth,
Hmm.
but we don't talk about generational poverty. We don't talk about generational anxiety. So we're talking about it on Black Men Sundays, and
I
we
like
also
that.
talk
I like
about
that. And I think what you
yeah,
did, Corey, you said that this started with your friends during the pandemic. You guys would meet on Zoom, and when we talk to our friends, that's a safe space, a vulnerable space to talk about things that maybe, you know, you don't want someone to tell you're wasting your money or you should do this or that. But your friends, your true friends will tell you even the tough stuff. And so I like that you're giving a safe space to talk about life lessons and, financial literacy and different issues that a lot of people sometimes they're so busy they don't stop to think about preparing for the future. They just keep putting it off.
Yeah, definitely. Time flies. I mean, I've known you like what, 15 years now? So
13.
imagine if, yeah, so imagine if 15 years ago, I was in the same financial situation I was then, did nothing about it. 15 years has gone by. You see the grays coming up on my face. You see the grays on my beard. So imagine if I was in that same situation. And it's like that's where these generational curses keep kicking in. You know
Hmm.
what? I'm young. I have time. We also talk about health and wealth because
Hmm.
if your health is not right, your money's going to be messed up because you see the high cost of insurance and bills in general. So we're getting we're covering the full topic. We even talk about relationships because a marriage, that's an investment as well. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. I love the wide range of topics and just, that transparency of it. So we'll look for the podcast and hopefully everyone can get involved with Boys and Girls Club as well as help with this turkey drive and any other future events. Sign up for Black Men Sundays. You can find it on clickorlando.com under the podcast area. And Corey, thank you so much. And I hope we can have you on again another morning for Breakfast with Bridget.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. I feel like I'm just warming up. Let's go.
Yes, I know. I know. We'll get back to you on another morning for sure, and I'll see you a little bit later.
All right, definitely. And thanks for having us. And get your donations in to that. Today is the last day for the fundraiser. November 18th is the event. And I'll see you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Here on News 6 Plus, we like to talk about getting results. Corey and Black Men Sundays podcast and the community definitely getting results for the Boys and Girls Club here in Central Florida. It's Native American Heritage Month. Did you know that? Well, it is. November is Native American Heritage Month. We had a special story about some history here in our area. News 6's Ezzy Castro introduces us to a very passionate member of the Hororo Native Village, Mr. Little Big Mountain.
For Little Big Mountain, home is right here at the Hororo Native Village inside Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures Park. Little is of the Comanche Nation from his father's side and First Nations Federal Mohawk from his mother's side. But he calls himself an edutainer because he's very passionate about educating about his culture.
Their dances, their language, everything is different.
From handmade stone tools to a large canoe, it's all part of an experience that takes you back to hundreds of years of history.
Camouflage, okay? I used 2 snakes on here. This is actually banded water snake, so this is not a non-venomous snake. And if the question is, did I eat the snakes? Yeah, of course I did.
Little explained that Hororo means people of the owl, and he welcomes all people who want to learn and explore.
And then we have our own history, which is verbal history. So you see, being able to speak gives us a lot of opportunity to tell the truths about our Native people.
In Osceola County, Ezzy Castro getting results, News 6.
That is awesome. Wouldn't it be great to take a whole field trip out there and learn, about the history right here in Central Florida when it comes to our Native Americans? You can meet Little Big Mountain and get details on visiting the village on clickorlando.com and take a look at that story again and share it as well. We have some other great content, our newsletters on clickorlando.com. You can sign up. There's a variety of newsletters. We're covering weather stories. We're covering the theme parks. We're covering what's going on in the art scene, you name it, food, everything. Our Brooke Savage, one of our producers here, a longtime producer here at News 6, is passionate about the arts and what's happening on the stages. So she just created a new newsletter, and here she is to tell you more about it.
This week in my Setting the Stage newsletter, I'm asking a very important question. This time of year, are you all about fall or are you all about the December holidays? I ask because you can see here at News 6, we're already getting ready for the holidays. But in the theater and art scene, they're still focused on spooky season. Starting tonight, you can catch the Rocky Horror Show and a show about Edgar Allan Poe. I'll have all the details for you in my newsletter, Setting the Stage. You can subscribe right now on our website, clickorlando.com/newsletters.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. So here's the newsletters page on clickorlando.com. And we have, like I said, everything from making ends meet to covering the Space Coast, election news, Central Florida happenings, setting the stage right down there. You can sign up for breaking news alerts as well. And how are we doing? That takes a look at health and wellness and mental health. We have Our Roots, which highlights the diversity in Central Florida, as well as serving those who served, and much, much more. You can subscribe to each and every one you would like. It's pretty easy once you log in to the website, just like your insider login. You can then click and sign up for the individual ones you want. We're not going to flood your inbox with things that you didn't sign up for. You can sign up specifically for those newsletters that you like. And I should mention, Brooke showed the Christmas decorations here in the building, but there is a good reason for that. We are currently ramping up for our Angel Tree program that we do as one of the big supporters of Salvation Army's Angel Tree. So we already have our angels and our tree in the lobby. So we're getting ready for that, as well as our Studio B already decked out for Christmas, because we're recording Sounds of the Season with so many, dozens of local choirs and orchestras and all these different student musicians here from all the different schools coming in the busloads every day recording. And then we'll have Sounds of the Season running here online as well as on the air coming up on the holidays. So make sure you look for that. Probably some of your kids or your neighbors' kids are doing those recordings right now. So that's why we get ready for the holidays early here with the decorations. We also want to talk about EDC again. I have a few more details. Trooper Steve touched on it when we talked about some of the traffic issues. This is happening around Tinker Field. So if you are in and around Tinker Field, you might want to watch out for the traffic. It kicks off tonight. 100,000 people, guys, every day out there for EDC, the Electric Daisy Carnival. It runs through Sunday, and again, it's one of those big events here in Orlando. So you may have seen some lights and stuff set up already if you use 408 near downtown quite a bit. So watch out for that. Like I said, 100,000 people every day running through Sunday. Definitely plan for an alternate if you don't have the extra time for that traffic. Coming up at 9, we will have the latest headlines on News 6, weather and traffic. And again, gearing up for Veterans Day, we'll be talking to a veteran who served in the Army and how her time in the military inspired a career. She pivoted into fashion design. And, that's what's amazing about all of our veterans and our service members. They're so talented and they're in a variety of careers and backgrounds. So she's sharing her experience in becoming a fashion designer and how the military inspired her there. Some of the special deals and freebies for veterans will be highlighting around Central Florida. So make sure you take notes on that. If you can't join us for News 6 at 9 and the full listing, head over to clickorlando.com where we have that listing too as well, where you can get discounts and freebies all weekend for the veterans. And of course, it wouldn't be Friday on News 6 at 9 without Florida or anywhere else. And that's where we take a look at some of those crazy stories that happened this week all around the world, many of them in Florida, but we'll try to guess, and you can guess along with us, did it happen in Florida or somewhere else? So that's going to do it for this Friday edition of Breakfast with Bridgett. I am having a cupcake because our sweet Haley Coombs is having a little baby, and we had a big diaper party for her here yesterday. She's our 9 a.m. producer. The cupcakes are just right here. So right after I finish up here, I'll probably have another one because they are excellent from Walmart. So if you ever need a cake, get a cupcake cake from Walmart because it's delicious. So that's my breakfast. I hope you have a great breakfast and a great weekend. And again, happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans. And we hope to see you on Monday bright and early at 7:30 for Breakfast with Bridgett. Have a good one.